brittle, dries up, cracks, and sometimes shrinks and draws up, so it allows for air infiltration. So everywhere where your glass has an edge, there's a possibility for air infiltration. How big a problem is air infiltration? Air infiltration can account for 30% more of your heating and cooling cost. It can create problems with moisture, noise, dust, and the entry of pollutants. Now remember, Inflector will create a air barrier between your interior surface and your window glass. So that's how it's reducing your air infiltration. Air infiltration will, reducing infiltration will lower your utility bills and give you a healthier indoor environment. Remember, if air goes out, then air comes in, and the air that's going out is the air that you've already paid to heat and cool. Here's a very amazing statistical data that I've shared with some of you before. Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory is one of the most renowned and respected organizations that deal with energy issues. What they found out is in 2003, in the United States alone, that windows were responsible for 2.15 quadrillion BTUs of energy heating loss and 1.48 quadrillion BTUs of cooling energy consumption. Now again, these are quadrillions. When we're looking at their stimulus, we were talking about billions and trillions. This is quadrillions. So windows alone are combined responsible for over 3.5 quadrillion BTUs of energy consumption. So what we have here is a situation to where, one, we know we've got a problem. That problem is decreasing resources. That part of the decreasing resources is environmental in nature. So we know we have to do something about our decreasing energy resources. So then we address the question, what is the best way to address this? Is it energy conservation efficiency, or is it renewables? Well, in fact, what we have to do is all of the above. What we found out is that even if we increase our amount of renewables, we're still increasing our dependency on coal. When we increase our dependency on coal, then we're actually ending up with the same issues that we were talking about trying to reduce, which is carbon emissions. We're doing everything to reduce carbon emissions, yet if we only count on renewables, then we're going to be more dependent on them today and into the future than we ever were. So what we have to deal with is we have to deal with energy efficiency. How many windows are there? You've seen across America what the loss is in energy through windows. It's in microcosm how it affects everybody in our daily life. It affects us in our homes. It affects us in our buildings. We are up to a tremendous challenge right now. And I'm going to tell you this, that keep this in mind. Windows were once called wind holes, but with today's double pane windows, they do a decent job of preventing unwanted airflow. However, they still offer very little resistance to the flow of heat. And remember, heat goes to cold. So when the heat is in your home, it's trying to get out. When the heat is outside, it's trying to get in. And as it goes out, what replaces it? What replaces it is air that we have to retreat. So listen to this. Compared to a well-insulated walls and roofs of a modern home, double pane windows, even double pane, allow 10 to 15 times more heat energy to flow through them. So despite the fact that the windows make up only 10% of a home's insulated shell, up to 50% of home heating and cooling energy pours through them. So let's consider that about half of what's paid for in heating and cooling utility bills could be going straight out that window. I'd like to call your attention once more to another infrared picture, and what this infrared picture clearly demonstrates is the window loss is through the windows. These other parts, the blues and the greens, are showing that you're getting decent insulation, but through the windows you're losing it. So anyway, let's kind of recap what we found out. We found out that the Earth is in a very sensitive position right now. That sensitive position requires action. What is the action? Well, the action is actually to do all of the things that we can. But the first thing to do, the most important thing to do, is take the energy conservation, energy efficiency to the absolute highest level we can. So now that we know that energy conservation, energy efficiency is the most important thing, what do we do within that arena of energy conservation products, energy efficient products that can have the most bang? Well, I'm going to tell you it's very obvious. The very element of the building envelope that gives you the ability to have that nice look outside is the energy hole. So what we can do globally is to turn them from an energy hole into an energy resource, because when we're solar loading, now it's an energy producer, and it's a passive energy producer that uses no resource at all. So what we're saying is the time now is for action. The most important action is conservation efficiency. Deep within that energy conservation efficiency, the most important thing we can do is to insulate our windows and turn them from energy hogs to energy producers, to deal with the infiltration, to deal with the solar heat gain, deal with the radiant gain. There's nothing out there that does all the things to attack the inefficiencies of the biggest consumer of energy like Inflector. So let me say this to kind of summarize. Inflector is energy conservation at its very best, and we are energy efficiency done right. I hope everyone's been able to answer all those questions, but if you did have some questions that remain unanswered, please feel free to call us within 5 minutes, and we will make this PowerPoint available to you, or email us at any time. We respond very quickly to phone calls and email. Thank you.